Well, for Blue Jays fans, it's been a rough month of May. Going into June 1st here, the team had to turn around after I think May was like 11 and 17, 10 and 17, something like that for the team. After the great start they had to the season, they needed to get off on the right foot today, June 1st, and they just did that as they take the series against the Milwaukee Brewers after winning Game 3 with the score 3-1. Welcome back to Gillis TV. If you're a fan of NHL, MLB, whatever there is that day, sports fans in general, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content. Now, like I said, the Blue Jays, are fourth in the AL East, facing off against the Milwaukee Brewers, who are first in the NL Central. Barring the Blue Jays have a better record than the Milwaukee Brewers. So going into this game after, Alek Manoah pitching, he did pitch really good yesterday in a sense of not giving up many earned runs, but he didn't have the strikeout stuff. His inconsistency wasn't really there. So, of course, Kevin Gausman gets the mound today against Freddie Peralta. A pitching matchup that a lot of people would like to see. And it was Kevin Gausman coming out on top with the win today as he pitched a gem, giving up no runs in 6 2/3 innings. We'll get into that, but really low scoring game with a final score of 3-1 for the Toronto Blue Jays over the Milwaukee Brewers. And all of the Blue Jays runs came in the first inning, courtesy of 2 home runs, one from Bichette, who was a solo, and then Matt Chapman continuing the year he's had. Of course, it always happens with the Blue Jays. Hey, this guy's about to become a free agent, and they have career years. You look at Donaldson, you look just a few years ago, Marcus Semien for one. Now Matt Chapman's having that way too. But Matt Chapman would homer to right on a 1-2 count, and Varsho was on base to score the 3 runs, and that's all the Jays needed. And Jordan Romano would come in to close this thing, giving up a run, barring it was a weird play to give Rowdy Tellez, out of everyone, Rowdy Tellez a triple. His first hit of the series had to be the last at bat of the series for him. But hey, we all love our former Blue Jays. Rowdy Tellez is one of them for sure. And then, so in the 9th with Rowdy Tellez on third, and we had Milwaukee had someone on first base. They would ground into a double play, and Bichette would let Tellez score to make it a 3-1 game. This game had, Kevin Gausman was on fire. I'm sorry, but after, the whole situation with Manoah where his mental mindset is coming into play, Kevin Gausman has been the guy to keep consistent this year. Chris Bissette's starting to find his way with that as well. Barrios, after struggling last year, is finally getting to the path that we signed him for 7 more years for. And then Kikuchi is, Kikuchi at this point. He can surprise us any given day or get surprised every given day. But let's get into the stats here. Like I said, it was a low-scoring game. For Milwaukee, Freddie Peralta would go 6 strong, giving up 3 earned runs on 6 hits, walking 2 batters, striking out 3. McGill would come in, giving up a hit and getting a strikeout, and then Perguero would give up 2 hits, walk 2 batters. Again, the Jays had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th, couldn't cash in, as Kiermaier would strike out for the third out, and that was Perguero's only strikeout. Kevin Gausman would go 6 2/3, giving up 5 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts. Eric Swanson would come in for an inning and a third, pitching a gem, no hits, no runs, no strikeouts, no walks, zeros across the board. And of course, Jordan Romano would give up a hit, an earned run, a base on balls, and a strikeout to get the save for the Toronto Blue Jays. Kevin Gausman, 2.76 ERA throughout the season. Eric Swanson's at a 3.04. Really good addition. I know fans of Toronto really liked Teoscar Hernandez. And don't get me wrong, Teoscar was the fun guy in that locker room. He could get the home runs when we needed. But the trade for Eric Swanson really helped this Blue Jays bullpen, especially with Yimi Garcia struggling. Guys like Nate Pearson stepping up for that. Trevor Richards this year has been phenomenal with his changeup and doing what he's been doing. And Jordan Romano, 3.27 ERA. You know, for relievers when they only pitch an inning and a third, the ERA is a little bit higher than actually what it looks like, or is lower than what it actually looks like, because they only get a pitch an inning here or there. Like Jordan Romano last pitched on Sunday. It is Thursday today, and he finally got in. So games played to all that, ERA is a little bit actually lower than what it says. But hey, the Blue Jays bullpen, Adam Simber's starting to come around. Nate Pearson is really picking it up, forcing the Toronto Blue Jays' hands for that. And what can we say about Kevin Gausman? This man is on a mission this year. He is phenomenal and a great pickup 2 years ago for the Toronto Blue Jays. Anyway, anything else here? Bichette, of course, would go 1 for 4 with that home run, and Chapman would go 1 for 3 with the 2 RBIs. Blue Jays only struck out 5 times today. Kevin Kiermaier had 3 of them. Terrible whiff on the bases loaded, but that is it. And we'll go to the stats here for the summary, as it was 9-6 in favor of the Blue Jays for hits. No team committed an error. 2 home runs to none for the Toronto Blue Jays. Steals, each team had 2 based on balls. Blue Jays had 4 walks compared to the 3 given up to the Milwaukee Brewers. And the Jays struck out 7 times less than the Milwaukee Brewers, as the Milwaukee Brewers struck out 12 times in that. And runners left on base, Blue Jays left 8, and the Milwaukee Brewers left 5. But that is it for today. I believe the Blue Jays play tomorrow versus the Mets in New York, as I'm just going to look that up to double check. Yeah, 5:10 p.m. start here Mountain, 7:10 start there on the East Coast. Of course, they are playing the Mets, and let's see if they have the pitchers. It will be Chris Bassett opening up the series against Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander, 2 wins only all season, 4.80 ERA. Chris Bassett, 5 wins with a 3.80 ERA. That will be tomorrow, 7:10 Eastern. I'll catch you guys after that game. See you later.